Alright, hello everyone, welcome to NerdChat. Alright, so we are covering issue 2 of that Spider-Man XMen crossover.
That one Spider-Man and X-Men crossover.
Yes, of all of the few. There's a lot, actually.
They're a great team up, though.
Yes, they are. That's like what this whole comic is actually about. Like when we get to the end, we talk about like how many times they've crossed over throughout the years and like how important it is for them to stick together as like friends. But so this one this issue covers it's Spider-Man recalling the events of Kraven's last hunt. For anyone who does not know, which I also do want to cover that story eventually.
That's a good story.
It is. It's about how Kraven wanted to prove that he could be better than Spider-Man. So he supposedly killed him, but really he just knocked him unconscious, buried him alive, and then took over as Spider-Man, wore his suit and killed a dude, and then he committed suicide because he felt like there was nothing more that he could accomplish in this life. Mm-hmm. So that all happened. Now, so what Peter is recalling all those events. So he basically after this whole elaborate suicide plan, Peter is trying to make sure that, during all that information he gathered, that there is nothing left behind at Kraven's old place to, Peter's, personal life, address, pictures of his face, anything that could, be led to discovering his identity if someone stumbled across Kraven's estate.
Okay.
So he doesn't find anything personal about Peter, but what he does find is some files on the X-Men. So he finds some of the records of that first issue, okay. What he was doing and the payoff that he got. So he takes all this stuff to the mansion and asks if any of the original 5 X-Men are still around, because it has to do with them specifically. And Spider-Man is currently, you can actually see it right here. He's wearing the cloth version of his symbiote suit.
The one Black Cat made?
Yeah. So, the current X-Men roster is Wolverine, Dazzler, Rogue, and Storm. They try to explain to Peter that the original 5 are busy, and they kind of are busy too, so they don't really have time to deal with this. Logan explains that the Marauders just declared war on the mutants.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Oh.
So the X-Men have a lot of people hurt, some missing, some dead, and they're in the middle of dealing with all this. Peter tells them that he has things to do too that he feels are much more important than this. And he explains the events of issue 1. He didn't think much of it at first. It seems like it was just kind of like one of those things, wow, our villains teamed up for whatever reason. We've teamed up and fought them together, and that was that.
Yeah, they just kind of wrote it off.
Yeah, but then he found this file, and now he thinks there's something much more important. And he knows that the file explains that the Kraven's mission was to get DNA samples of all 5 X-Men. Rogue makes fun of him, saying that they'll let Cyclops know, but they're in the busy dealing with things that happened after they discovered electricity, and starts pushing him out of the door. Making fun of him that this happened so long ago that we have much more urgent matters today.
We're doing other stuff right now, Peter.
Yeah, it's in the past. Can we move past it? And it's so Peter says, fine, just tell Cyclops to look him up if he ever wants help with this Sinister guy. And that gets Wolverine's attention. Because they don't know who Mr. Sinister is yet. But Logan mentions that the Marauders call their boss Mr. Sinister. And they may have been fighting this war a lot longer than they realize. So they apologize, trying to push Peter out the door, and ask if they would like to go check out the location that Sinister and Kraven met. So Spider-Man replies, and I quote, "You bet your adamantium took us, I feel like it."
Your adamantium took us.
So they go to the area, and Logan finds the scent of Sabretooth, and claws into the ground to find a Morlock tunnel. If you would like to explain anything about the Morlocks, you are welcome to, because you know more about them than I do.
I love the Morlocks. So the Morlocks are the mutants that live underground, and they typically live within the sewer systems underneath New York. Most people will know them from the storyline where the X-Men were underground because, actually I don't even remember why they were underground. Whatever. But Storm had to overcome her claustrophobia, which before then was crippling to her.
Yes.
It would totally shut down Storm. And that was bad because Storm was one of their biggest powerhouses. But Storm had to overcome her claustrophobia and win a one-on-one fight with the leader of the Morlocks at the time, which was Marrow. And that was how Storm showed that she was capable of leading the X-Men. That's how she proved in her own leadership to everybody else. That's actually one of the earlier storylines in the animated series as well.
Yeah, I do know that. I knew that you know more because I just wrote, tell Rick to explain the Morlocks.
I love the Morlocks. They're so cool.
So naturally, they because this is a comic book, they run into the Marauders, and this immediately leads into a fight.
The Marauders are such dickheads.
Yeah, they're not great people. And I honestly don't know a ton about them. And during the rest of this, I try to explain the best I can about whatever the hell is going on.
It depends on who's on the team, but they're all generally just gigantic assholes.
Where am I at? Okay, so like I said, naturally they run into the Marauders, leads into a fight. So the fight goes as so. Vertigo confuses them all, but Peter, however, having his spider sense and some experience with Mysterio, says it's just another day in the office for him and shoots Vertigo immediately in his face with his webs. Like, they're all disoriented, like, oh no, Peter's like, yeah, nah. This gives Rogue the opportunity to take down Vertigo and tells Spider-Man to web up Archlight's hands so they can't make any more shockwaves. Peter asks Storm why she isn't whipping up a hurricane, and she tells him that she lost her powers, but she can still handle her own, and takes down Scrambler with ease. So she doesn't have her powers right now. Scrambler's powers to take away any powers or anyone that he touches powers, and since Storm doesn't have any, it makes her pretty great at taking him down.
Yeah. He's a trash bag.
Arclight, which I spelled differently 3 times now. I wonder which one it actually is.
I assume it's Arclight.
Probably. I can probably look right here. I'm pretty sure. Arclight breaks free, and the Marauders start to gain the upper hand. And Sabretooth says that to get to his partners, they have to go through him. So Logan does. He just goes through him.
Yeah, that sounds like Logan.
Yeah. After he cuts off a few limbs and spills some guts, Peter claims, okay, you guys are crazy.
What is this, like his first time teaming up with them?
Well, so at this point...
because this is Brown Suit Logan.
You have to remember, at this point, Spider-Man is not very familiar with Wolverine.
Yeah, because this is like Brown Suit.
It's not until we get to the 4th issue of this that Wolverine and Spider-Man start to spend a lot of time together.
Yeah, because I was going to say, even, like, because he was in Brown Suit when he first confronted Spider-Man when Spidey was quitting or whatever. And he was like, hey, like on that dock.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, hey, kid, I know things are rough, but, you know, we're the ones that have to keep going no matter what. And Peter was like, why are you here, Logan? Because that was before they were friends.
Yes.
Okay. It's weird because this jumps, because there's time skips between each issue. It's hard to place it in the timeline because it just takes place at different points. Yeah,
because you see like the evolution of Spider-Man and the X-Men's like relationship between each other.
It's like watching Dragon Ball Z and placing the 3 Broly movies. They're not sequential.
No, they are not.
They're just scattered throughout the timeline.
So anyway, back to the comic. So when it becomes clear that the X-Men are going to win, Arclight brings the whole place down. Peter catches everyone in like webs as they start to fall, and as they fall into the sub-lab, they find failed clones of the original X-Men, which you can see.
Oh, are they the grody ones? Yeah. Oh, they're the grody ones.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, they're gross. So the Marauders retreat, but not without chucking a spear at a fuel tank, destroying the lab, because of course. And this is where you start to see they have to do this kind of stuff, because like otherwise they would have gotten an upper hand on learning more about Mr. Sinister. But if we're going to place this in continuity, we can't have that. So fuck the lab.
This is before they know who Mr. Sinister is.
Yes, this is the first. Like they only know his name; they don't know what he looks like.
So they have no understanding of him. Have they run into Apocalypse yet in this timeline?
I have no idea.
Oh fuck!
But they don't bring it up. so it doesn't matter, I guess. Spidey and the X-Men manage to get out, but with the lab destroyed, they won't be able to find any more answers for now. Peter says the lab gave him the heebie-jeebies because he can't imagine what it would be like to have a clone of him running around somewhere. Ha!
Ha! Ha! That's a Ben joke.
And this is after he has been cloned. Like, he doesn't know that yet.
He just doesn't know that Ben's out there.
Yeah. We're not done with that.
Oh, boy.
So, Wolverine comments that it's long past due that they took the fight to Sinister. The last pages are of Mr. Sinister paying his respects to Kraven over his grave. Saying that he doesn't understand how anyone could take their own life when there's still so much more to do. But he says that Kraven should fear not, for his legacy is in good hands. And that is the end of issue 2.
Fuck that dude.
Yeah, he's a douche.
I hate Mr. Sinister. He's such an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why I'm asking about Apocalypse, because he always works with Apocalypse, and Apocalypse fucking hates him.
He's fucking...
He's such a
weird.
dickwad. Like, everything he does is awful.
Yeah, we really get to see some of that in the 4th issue, because you get to, without spoiling what happens, someone gets to look into Cyclops' mind about how messed up Sinister is, and it is some horrifying stuff, just the revelations of everything that, he's done to the X-Men, especially Cyclops.
Oh, yeah. No, Scott and Jean have suffered so much because of Sinister.
Yeah. His freaking weird obsession with him. But yeah, that is the end of issue 2. So we have 2 more issues of this to go.
As wonky and dumb as this is, it's actually rather entertaining.
It's really cool. This is my least favorite issue of the 4. But
it's kind of a setup issue.
It is. This one has a lot of build up to the other stuff. It's necessary filler. But the next 2 issues is when stuff starts to happen. But I will tell you, Sinister obviously is growing something. And when you find out what it is,
that's kind of what he does.
You are not ready for it, because I wasn't ready for it.
No.
And I am very excited to get to it. So,
okay.
This issue is not the best of what this story has to offer. So tune back in for the rest of it.
Sounds good to me.
Damn barking dogs. Anyway, you guys know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe. Look into our description if you want to join our Discord and request any other stories for us to do.
We love requests, especially the smaller ones.
Yeah.
If you got a 2, 3, even 4 issue series that you want us to check out, we would love to hear about that. Give us some comments. Let us know if you hate us, love us, and think we're mediocre.
Oh, and I forgot to mention this. Check out our gaming channel too. We got one of those.
It's true.
So we're playing a way out, and by the time that this is out, we'll probably have some Anthem footage up there.
Yeah, we're gonna be dropping Anthem because that's soon.
That's
this week.
It's the week of this recording, so it'll come out the week before this video releases.
Because what is it? Is it after midnight?
No, we got 18 minutes.
Yeah, and once it hits midnight, then it's Tuesday, and it comes out Thursday night for us. So
yeah. So what are we playing? Maybe I'll stream. It's not a bad idea. Maybe.
It's not a bad idea.
All right. Well, if that's the case, there will have been an announcement, and you will have missed it because this will be a week later. All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll hope to see you around. And check out Rick's. You're on what KOTOR?
I am doing Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes. So check out that too.
I'm going to cover the first volume, the first arc.
Yep.
Of Knights of the Old Republic, and then I will be covering some Young Justice afterwards.
Well, one of those videos should be out by now, so there'll probably be a link to it on screen. All right.
Yeah.
Check you guys later. Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.